Challenging emotions, obsessions, fears, and power struggles are likely around Wednesday, Thursday, October 19th, 20th, when both the Sun and Venus square Pluto, the lord of subconscious transformation and our inner darkness. Expect to feel sensitive, tender, and easily affected by the words and actions of others. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you'd like to work with me, there are links down below. I am currently running the eclipse season special, giving $30 off to all of my clients for all readings, so you can get better guidance and find out what the eclipse season and Mars retrograde and everything until the end of the year has in store for you. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave me a like or a comment. I really appreciate that, and it really helps me grow my channel, and helps me bring you more content. Before I start talking about this transit, I wanted to tell you that I have created candles for Mercury in Virgo and for Venus in Libra, candles and oils. And these have planetary properties of the planets and the times they were created at. So Mercury was created at 11:02, October 6th, with Mercury in the midheaven. So this is great for professional focus, communication, clarity. And Venus, I actually woke up super early. So this was made at 6:21 in the morning on October 4th. And it has Venus on the ascendant in a trine with the moon. And the moon also sextiles Jupiter, so good luck for romantic matters. Okay, so the Sun and Venus have been traveling together all months of October, right? And of course, they're making aspects to different planets one after another. So here we get both of them square Pluto literally hours apart, right? The Sun on Wednesday, October 19th at 9:33 in the morning, and Venus on Thursday, October 20th at 2 a.m. So not even a day apart. So we have this, we feel this energy basically starting with, let's say Monday, October 17th until Saturday, October 22nd, even possibly Sunday, October 16th. And here we get, you know, like the Sun is the light. It's the image we have of ourselves. It's our goals. It's our consciousness. Venus is the beauty, harmony, joy. So both of these are sort of like idealistic, pure, image-conscious planets get in a fight. Squares or tense aspects, they are of nature of Pluto. They get in a fight with Pluto, the lord of the underworld, who sees that they all poop. And sees what kind of stuff they ate and what kind of stuff, you know, or like Pluto sees their trash. Pluto sees their dreams. Pluto sees their fears. So they get into this kerfuffle, and we in our life will see this show up in a multitude of different ways, right? So I'm also always thinking of Pluto as like Hades, who stole Persephone, right? Like the god of the underworld who just like popped on the sunny field and took this earthy, beautiful goddess. I don't know if she was a goddess. I need to look that up. But he like took her with him into the underworld. And so planets have that, they sometimes have that power, right? Like they can grab us. So here you can be grabbed by intense emotions and, you know, dark feelings, fears, obsessions, jealousy, past experiences. Somebody says something to you and it like makes you feel like a child who's been hurt or something like that. So your wounds might become more visible, right? And it can come through a memory, it can come through a person. You can feel like other people are being Plutos. You can feel like other people are triggering you. Don't like this word, but like other people instigating feelings in you. But in reality, a lot of times other people are just there to help us look within and help us deal with things. You can expect relationship tests, especially when it comes to power and control in relationships. who has more power, right? Like there might be a crisis of some sorts, or like, yeah, like something happens, you get in a fight about dirty dishes, and then it turns out to be about how, I don't know, the person who doesn't wash the dishes always talks to their mother, or something about like, you know, a lot more serious, a lot heavier. So be careful, like, you know, your partner could be instigating those fights. Like you might be just super careful and doing nothing, and then planets, because they have that tendency to just show up anyways, no matter how much you are being conscious of it, like it might come through the partner. And because it's a test for a relationship, you know, an unhealthy relationship, a shaky relationship can suffer, can struggle. There might be like a serious damage done to it, but a healthy relationship will survive. A relationship that has strong foundations will get through it and will likely bring you closer. So that's why when people ask me, they're like, oh, well, does this mean my relationship is going to end? It doesn't have to, right? Like it depends on how you handle it. It depends on how aware you are, how able to deal with these challenging things are you already. Focus on sharing power versus holding on to it. Make sure you're not trying to win, right? Like Pluto can make us focus too much on winning. And it's not just in romantic relationships, right? Like in your professional matters, in your friendships, in your relationships with siblings, in your dynamics with your family. Don't try to win. Try to, you know, bring forth a better relationship. And once if you have the consciousness, if you have the awareness, you can transform things. You can bring a better relationship. You can allow for rebirth that Pluto is here to do, because every planet just reflects a part of our psyche, right? It reflects a project. It's part of the process. Everything is part of the process. So Pluto is here to help you look at the dark corners and, you know, take care of them. Take out the trash. Sometimes Venus in a square with Pluto can bring a new relationship, something sudden, something instant and magical and shiny. But there's a but. Watch out that this is not like an explosive, unhealthy kind of relationship, because sometimes that could be very much a thing. So let's take a closer look at all 12 signs and see what this might mean for you. I'm gonna do a quick rundown. I always say that it doesn't end up being quick, but I'm gonna do it this time. For Aries rising, Sun and Venus are currently in the 7th house, and they will square Pluto in your 10th house. To me, this feels like professional conflicts and tensions spilling into your relationship. Maybe you take work home with you. Maybe you come in and you're too frustrated. Maybe you're too ambitious and your partner feels like you're not giving them enough attention. Maybe you're trying to be in charge. Watch out for that kind of thing. And if you want to be in charge and you want to be in control, why do you want to be in control? This could be like the time when you realize that your desire to be in control is just about getting like approval of your dad, and trying to prove something. But like, remember that you don't have to prove anything, and you are perfect, beautiful butterfly as is, without trying to, you know, murder for power. So be careful there. For Taurus rising, Sun and Venus in the 6th house are going to square Pluto in the 9th. For Taurus risings, I feel like there might be conflicts with teachers, with mentors, ideological battles where you disagree with them and you feel like you know the right answer, right? Taurus, be careful being too stubborn. There might be issues surrounding like legal matters, publishing, writing, teaching, travel. And these kind of issues might feel like they are about that, but then maybe there's more to it, right? Like maybe it brings up something in you that is actually about something else. Like you feel like you're fighting for like some bureaucracy, but then it like, I don't know, makes you remember how your teacher said something to you. It's hard to, you know, imagine specifically, but it's Pluto. So Pluto is likely to bring up some kind of deeper questions and beliefs. Like, if you want to be right, why do you want to be right? Is it about that, or is it about being in a happy relationship? For Gemini rising, there's Sun and Venus in the 5th house squaring Pluto in the 8th house. And here it's like Sun and Venus in the 5th wants to be happy and joyful and go out and have sex and have some romance and create. But Pluto in the 8th can bring issues about money. You know, maybe you and your partner disagree about what to spend on. Or maybe they spend a lot and you don't agree with their habits. Or maybe you want to spend more and they don't want you to spend more. So be careful with like trying to control other people, trying to get some kind of leverage with your resources, right? Like, try to be honest and have honest conversation in your relationships about how much effort you put in, how much effort the other person puts in, and how you can be better together versus be good apart. For Cancer rising, Sun and Venus in the 4th will square Pluto in the 7th, and you may deal with conflicts between your home and family and your family members and your relationship. You know, like there might be some drama in the marriage or your version of marriage, like maybe you and your mom are married almost, quote unquote. But you know, like my Cancer rising friend is raising a kid and her mom is like a substitute husband. So questions about fairness, questions about, you know, who's responsible for what are likely around this time. There might be tensions around your living situation where you disagree with your partner, or there's just some kind of drama that is affecting your home life. I feel like if there are issues about your partner not giving enough, try to approach it with kindness and try to create more balance in your relationship. For Leo rising, Sun and Venus in the 3rd are going to square Pluto in the 6th. There might be health matters, there might be work conflicts with colleagues, or just like a need to do something for work that is messing with your plans, affecting your schedule, not allowing you to have fun and go out and maybe have, you know, some time with friends. Be careful of trying to control things too hard, right? Like with Pluto in the 6th house, there might be like a tendency to regain control at all costs. Still getting over like being sick for a little bit. And I also have one of my candles lit up, so maybe that's why I have something in my throat. But yeah, like be careful of tough exchanges at work. Be careful of trying to prove your point or being too inflexible. And if it's other people who are coming at you and creating drama, look at whether maybe some of your actions reflect that, or maybe these people are teaching you a lesson. For Virgo rising, Sun and Venus in the 2nd house are going to square Pluto in the 5th house. There might be questions about control in your romantic relationship or creative partnership. Maybe you feel like you have to have the upper hand and you have to have the final say. So be careful there. The matters related to money and values might come up and might need to be looked at closely. Certain issues related to children and how much money gets spent on children. Maybe, you know, your child suddenly needs like a piano. I don't know why I'm on a piano kick, but like a child maybe needs a piano and requires spending a lot of money, and it like makes you feel like frustrated and mad. So see how you deal. Try to find ways to better deal with differences when it comes to creative self-expression, romantic relationships, and childbearing, child raising, child rearing, right? I think that's what it is. So yeah, like try to not hold on too tightly and get all the control. For Libra rising, Sun and Venus in the first house are squaring Pluto in the fourth. And Libra rising might have to deal with some family drama, with family tensions, power struggles with parents, power struggles with neighbors. Oh my God. I'm a Libra rising and I have a neighbor who can like very much be the source of that, the crazy guy that like can never get kicked out. So disturbing, that guy. Like, you'll see him from outside and you wouldn't think he's crazy, but the moment you hear the stuff he says, it's just, oh my God. He's like Pluto. But anyways, like, you know, maybe there's some people like that in your life and they are asking you to get in touch with your frustrations and your anger and find ways to deal with it better, right? Because if you have someone who's like acting all crazy, maybe in some way they show you that you have the potential to have like anger and frustration, but how you handle it is up to you. So watch out for family living situation affecting your peace of mind. Handle it with grace. Notice the feelings that come up. Try to find healthy expressions for them. Childhood wounds, childhood traumas might be coming back for review. You know, we might think that we like have healed a certain part of ourselves, but do we ever really fully heal things? Like, they still have a propensity to pop up once in a while. And be careful of like power struggles with family members or people you live with and people you live around. For Scorpio rising, Sun and Venus in the 12th house are going to square Pluto in the 3rd house. There might be conflicts with siblings. There might be issues because Sun and Venus in the 12th house for Scorpio risings would want to have a quiet time, would want to retreat and go away with the partner, or maybe get, you know, some reflection, meditation, quiet time. But Pluto in the 3rd could be like, there is this conflict you have to deal with. There is this sibling matter. There is this car issue, or, yeah, like, you know, you're on your way to a trip and the car breaks down, and how do you handle that? Or technical difficulties, something like that. And asking you to pivot, asking you to adapt, asking you to communicate openly and honestly, but like pay attention to trying to be maybe passive aggressive or like trying to manipulate the situation. It's best to speak up, say your truth, and be honest. And you know, if there is a situation that someone is demanding too much of your time and you feel like things are unfair, this could be your call to try and change things. For Sag rising, we have Sun and Venus in the 11th house squaring Pluto in the 2nd house. And there might be issues with friends. There might be misunderstandings and some friendship drama related to different values. Like you have very different political views and you get into a fight with a friend, or money. If a friend owes you money, might be the time to talk about it, right? Like if there is some kind of frustration there, don't try to force them to give it to you, or don't try to threaten them or something like that. 11th house is also the place of hopes and dreams. So you may need to look at your relationship to money and how you spend money, or how much value you place on it before you're able to pursue things you want to pursue, right? Like maybe come up with a better financial strategy. But I think it's just like, yeah, watch out for some kind of crisis and tension surrounding finances. As well as because 11th house is the house of friends and networks. Maybe the question of like, are your friends aligned with your beliefs and your goals and your values? For Capricorn rising, there's Sun and Venus in the 10th house squaring Pluto in the 1st. And Capricorn rising might have to deal with like personal fears and limitations and transform some of those, because Pluto is in your 1st house and you're wrapping up a really long cycle of transformation. So looking at how you stand in your own way, looking what needs to be released, what needs to be changed about your appearance and your physical body and your health. There might be other people being Plutonian and showing up in your face and sort of creating drama, creating tension. and somehow preventing you from reaching your professional goals. So be mindful of that, be careful of that. But it's like, yeah, it's very much you want to achieve something with the Sun and Venus in the 10th house, and you have the power to achieve it. But Pluto is saying that you need to deal with something dark and frustrating and intense first, and you shouldn't hide away from it. For Aqua rising, we have Sun and Venus in the 9th house squaring Pluto in the 12th house. Pluto in the 12th could be like a hidden enemy once in a while. You know, there could be like someone who's messing with your plans to study or teach, or with your legal matters or travel plans. But more often than not, the hidden enemy is you, yourself. So this could very much be about having a self-defeating tendency to argue, having a self-defeating tendency to always want to be right, or believing you're always right, right? Or having like a bad habit. Something might be standing in your way of expressing yourself and sharing your beliefs, and, you know, maybe teaching or traveling or writing the work that you want to present. Very much like, what are the negative habits you have that need to be released in order to expand your world and find more joy in it. And finally, for Pisces rising, we have Sun and Venus in the 8th house squaring Pluto in the 11th. This could bring conflicts and power struggles with your friends about money, or with your partner about your friendships. Maybe, you know, maybe your pursuits are not necessarily aligned with what your partner sees you doing. Sun and Venus in the 8th really wants to like share and give and have healthy give and take dynamics, and, you know, spend time with the partner. But like Pluto in the 11th might be taking you away from it because you have professional aspirations, because you are following your dreams. So watch out for, you know, trying to manipulate the situation too much. Watch out for being too stuck and too kind of like stubborn with the way you see things. I think you might need to be like really adaptable here, especially when it comes to resources and values and finances, in order to have a good balance between like my friends and my partner, or my hopes and dreams and the plans I have with my partner. So watch out for tensions around those matters and those topics. And this is all I have to say about the Sun, Venus in a square with Pluto. It's, you know, not the longest lasting transit, but I think still significant to know, and significant to note because overall, until Scorpio season, we are in a more chill period, relatively. I have the moon in Gemini, and Mars has been hanging out next to my moon, and Neptune has been squaring my moon, so it's not necessarily for me. But it's a more chill period, and it's good to know about the times that, you know, it's good to know about some hidden streams and rocks and things we can avoid or be aware of. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.